So we're gonna start with the big wheel. We're gonna do a pulley and belt project. We are going to start with the first one. We want to create a sketch on the front plane. The way I'm gonna do this, I'm just gonna create a rectangle. Okay, start right there. I would also put another one in here. Okay, notice I want to line it up with that one in the middle. And I'm also gonna put another one in the middle right here. And F on the keyboard just to center it. Now I'm gonna start adding the dimensions. So I'm gonna make this 18. I'm gonna make this 8. I'm gonna make the height as 30. I'm gonna make this section right here as 3.5. And I'm gonna make this as 10. And by default, so I have 18 in total, and I have 10 in there. If I subtract them, I end up with 8, which means that I'm gonna need to have 4 over here in order for this to be symmetrical. So if I wanted to double check, I could just go in there and then put it in there. Okay, it's overdriven. I don't want it. I just want to double check. Okay. I am now going to go ahead and just grab trim entities. I'm gonna get rid of this one. I don't need this in here as well. Okay. And oh, one last thing that I need to do. Okay. I want to have this section right here as 4. Let's make it as 4. This section over here, let's make it as 4. And that should be it. Yeah, I do have the line. It looks like I don't, but I do. Let me just double check. Everything should be grayed out. Let me close it up. Interesting. Double check in here as well. Okay, that was just in case. I can now just go to features and revolve. And I want to revolve the entire thing around this axis right here. Okay, axis of revolution. And select the contours. This here. That's what I want. Okay. I will now go ahead and put a circle in there in the middle. So I'm gonna go sketch, sketch, select this portion right there, circle. Notice how I can't really tell where the circle is at. I mean the center. If I go and select here, now that shows up. So I can just go in there, put in there. And I want to have this as let me have it. Actually, I'm gonna put it as 10. 10 should be good enough. Yeah. And I want to get rid of that. I want to go to extruded cut, get rid of it. You can just grab the arrow and pull it all the way, or you can just go under blind and up the surface or through all. So check mark, and that is what I want. Okay. I also want to I could have done it on the other one as well, but I'm just gonna create a new sketch. You don't have to, you could have done this on the other one. I don't mean to edit sketch. I want to add something to it. Right click, sketch, And I actually want to have one of this one. Okay. So for this one, put it here. No, let's try another one. Let's try this one. Let's see how this one works. I want this to be in this direction. Okay. Now let's add the distance to this. So center of this to the center of this. I want that to be, we'll put it as 10. Radius for this one, we'll put it as 2. And this one, we'll leave it as 6 actually. The only reason I'm putting this one is just so that we can see how this rotates. We don't add anything, which is fine, but we don't add anything once we start to run the test or the simulation. You guys are not going to be able to tell whether this is rotating or not. Okay. And I want to cut this. But before I do that, I want to do a circular pattern. Okay. And I actually want to do this sketch. Edit this pattern. Let's get this one. Or just select everything from here. And I'm gonna get rid of this because I want this to be from here. Okay. And I'm gonna leave it as 4. Now I can get rid of what's inside. Yep, that's okay. Check mark. And that's the first part. Okay. Make sure you are saving everything. So I'm gonna save it. Now I'm gonna do the second part. So I am going to, I already have it saved. You guys would just go to File, New, but I already saved it for me. So I'm just gonna go to the second one. Okay. For this one, essentially we want the same dimensions. Keep in mind that the has to be the same size, the same length. Okay. So some of the measurements are essentially gonna be the same. Couple of things are gonna change. And that just has to do with the height. So we'll see right now. So I'm gonna do this, and I'm gonna start the same way I started with the other one. And in this case, I just want to cut this in half. So I'm gonna make this, instead of 30, I'm gonna make it as 15, and I had it as 18 as well. I'll start inserting all of the rectangles just like I do on the other one. So I'm gonna start right here. I'm gonna put the other one in here. And the measurements should be the same for this one. I left that as 18. I made this as 10. And again, I want that to be from here to here 4. I'm just gonna double check. You don't have to do this, but I just want to double check this is in fact 4. There you go. Escape on the keyboard. And this, instead of being 8, I'm gonna make it a 4. And then this one, I'm gonna make it as 2. Let's make it as 2. Some of the dimensions in here are different from the previous one. The only thing that I do want to keep the same is this 10. Because the belt is going to come through this section. So this has to be the same as the other one. I can now go ahead and start trimming some of this here. Remember, I'm using this power trim. I'm just gonna click, hold, and this. I'm just gonna drag this, drag it in there, and this one. I also want to get rid of this bottom part. Okay. Let's make this as 4 as well, just like on the other one. Let's make this as 4 as well. And this one moved. I have to double check that I this is in fact 15 and I can tell that it's not. So let me just undo this to the point where before I start cutting things out. Okay. So I'll make this from here to here should be 4. And then from here to that section should be 4. Okay. So now everything's good. This is still 15. That's 4. That is 4. That's 10. The height is 2. Now I can start trimming stuff out. Let me trim this one, this section right there. Check mark. And I can now go and revolve this just like I did on the big wheel. I want to do this one. Axis of revolution. I gotta select right there. And I want to rotate this around this section right there. So it look a little bit weird, but that's fine. Okay. Again, what I care about is this section right here. Because I'm gonna put the belt through there. And I can now put a sketch in here. Let's grab a circle. Again, if I don't see it, I can just go in here. And that center right there should come up. And I'm just gonna place it in there. And this one, I'll make it as 4. And we can put this one in here as well. So just start this one. Actually, I'm gonna put it in here. Put it here, in there, and in there. So center of this to this one has to be 4.5. Okay. The angle in which you put this one doesn't really matter. Again, I'm just placing this just so that I can see when the wheels are moving. Let's make this as a 4. Okay. Check mark. I wanna have more of this one, so I'm gonna do circular sketch. This one, the parameter, I want that to be it. And entities, let me right click. I gotta fix that. I'll fix it right now. I want to select this one. Okay. Right click, clear selections, and I want this to be rotated around that. I don't know why it's doing that. Let's clear all of this. Entities. You should be able to select it from here. Okay. Let's see. Again, I don't want through there. I want this to be rotated around this one. See how they're outside? It keeps selecting that. So let's try to fix the parameters. I want 4. That's all I want. Let's select this one. It keeps going back over there. There you go. So we selected that edge actually, and let's get rid of this one. Yeah, we don't need that. Check mark, features, extruded cut. So I want to get rid of that. Okay. Select that. Select this one as well. Select that one. Select this one. Okay. Again, you can grab that, or you can just go blind up to surface and just select this one, and it'll cut it all the way up to that, just to be, uh, to have a perfect cut in there. Make sure you save it. Make sure you save it. And in the next video, I'm gonna do the assembly, and we're gonna create the belt, and we should be able to finish this.